All right, so now you can see on my left side I have a folder called as node modules, and then a source directory, and then I have public folder, right? So let's see that what are these folders and what they represent, right? The first one is node modules. So you can see node modules is a folder that contains all of the dependencies that are required to complete to run your project. All right, so for example, you can see in my mm, in the package.json, sorry, I have a list of dependencies, right? So you can see that I have testing library, and then react-router-dom, react script, web vitals, etc, etc, and then I'll have some dev dependencies as well, like I'm using nodemon, etc, something. So you can see in my node modules I have like thousands of folders, right? So you can see these, there are jest, and there's JSON schema, etc. There are a lot of things. Then there will be react dom. Okay, so node modules basically contains all the dependencies that I require to run my project. Okay, so that's the story about node modules. You can delete it, and then you can run npm install command, and that will recreate the node modules. And how it creates it back again, because in my package.json and in my package log.json I have all the information about my packages. All right, so even if I lose my node modules, I can recreate them, right? So now in my public folder, you can see I have a file called as index.html, which I just told you that it is the file that will eventually be served uh, at the client, right? So whenever someone goes searching for our website, so this will be the file, and this will be served, this will be basically given in the response from the server to the client, and it will contain my entire app. But you can see in the line 31 there is only one line, which is div id root, and it is nothing, it's basically empty. Okay, and in my non-script you can see that it says that you need to enable JavaScript to run this app, right? And then I have different things like robots.txt and manifest.json, which are not important. Now, going into the source directory, I have some CSS file and some JS file, and then I have index.js, right? So let's see what index.js does. So index.js basically first it imports some dependencies from from my node modules. So this is the part to node modules, right? This is where it is taking all the items out. Okay, but you can see in the line 4 it imports app from app, which is this app, and what it is doing is it's basically simply it's creating a constant called as root, and then it is getting the element by id root. And what is this root? If you go to index.html, you can see this is the root my index is talking, my JavaScript is talking about. So what they're doing is they are taking my app component and they are kind of injecting it in the root uh, in this div. Okay, so our entire code will be injected right here, and we'll see. We'll first create our app. We can go to browser and inspect it, then you'll see that my entire code lies in between this div, right? And similarly, so index.js basically contains this stuff only. Okay, we don't change in index.js, but so the first change starts from app.js, because in app.js is basically my entire code is in app.js. You can see in the left side. So in the localhost 3001, you can see this is, it says that edit src app.js to save and reload, and the same content is right here. You can see. So basically, in order to make any change, I'll have to edit my app.js, because that's the file that is actually going inside there, right? And then I have app.test. So these are like, if you have to do some tests, some unit test cases you have to create, so you can use those files, but we are not going to use it for our course. All right. So yeah, so that was the folder structure of React app. Okay, so see you in the next one.